the Blues were going to win, he'd have to have a big night, and he's producing that and some at the moment.
He's now the leading goal kicker, I think, in the AFL too, gone ahead of Nick Revolt and the others. He's in his 11th season at Carlton for Vola. Brennan trying to get it to Bradshaw, who needs to fire from the other end. Jamison's his opponent. There was a bit of holding on Simon Black there, not spotted by the umpire. And now Hooper's given away the free, and Hooper is a frustrated man, as you mentioned, Wolsey. And Adam Joseph is just racking up victims at the moment. Very short AFL career. Great rookie selection by Wayne Hughes and the recruiting team at Carlton. Black and Brennan. There he is again, playing a bit of basketball.
Just corralling the Carlton players, Gibbs and Cruiser, just corralling, and they'd be happy with that result. Forced Brisbane to go backwards. They didn't overcommit, Gibbs or Cruiser, to let a Brisbane player slip past them.
And Notting. Henderson again. Brown swirling from one side to the other. It's not going to be easy to mark. He's got the superior strength, and that is what wins out. He couldn't get around him. Really wasn't a great kick for Jonathan Brown to mark, but he just knew how to use his body. And that's why they're still in this game, aren't they, Brisbane?
But you're right, they need the lesser lights to do something.
Yep.
Well, Jonathan Brown yet to kick a goal. 4 behinds on the board, so he's due. And let's have a look at his grip and see both hands pretty much equal distance down the ball.
Spins it around a bit, doesn't he, as he comes in to kick, gets him relaxed, and finally gets the result he was after, and the Lions still in it.
And just too strong position. Just a little bit of a bump on Thornton.
How much Thornton did wrong there, really wrong.
No, that's right. He's just too good.
Desperately needed goal for the Lions. They cut the deficit back to 22. Brown's first for the night. He's got 1 goal, 4. Stevens threaded it through towards Scotland. Sherman's been quiet since that ripping start. Now Rich needs to lift. Gets to possession inside 50. Bradshaw. Will he soccer off the ground? He tries.
Good play by Joseph to support the big man. And Joseph been playing on Ryan Hooper in picture there. Hooper hasn't been in for a centre bounce, and that's the next step. And it might take a couple of years, but you're going to have some pretty lean days playing in that forward pocket. He needs to be able to take his turn in the midfield.
Sherman, Bradshaw has manufactured the goal.
Strength of Sherman coming through. And clever play by Daniel Bradshaw.
Sherman had what? He had 11 at quarter time, and only 3 since. But that was a telling disposal.
The positive for Brisbane with their last 2 goals is that they've been one-on-ones. Sherman comes through like a tank, gets the kick to the goal square, and just the strength and the poise of Bradshaw in the one-on-one against Jamison, and just before that, Brown in the one-on-one against Thornton. 2 good victories to Brisbane.
So Brennan running around in the ruck. He's had, I think, 7 disposals in the quarter. 15 for the night to go with his 4 goals won. There's Grigg and Black still paired off. Judd carrying a big load. Interesting call.
Jared, you come over the top, over his shoulder.
So Chris Judd trots off just so he can get it a bit deeper. The Irishman's coming. There's a whistle early.
He's going to give it against Simpson for a bump just before the ball arrived.
It was too early. It was too early, though.
You can hear the dispute. Luke Power not a massive influence tonight either. Just 12 disposals.
There's Stiller, Judd's opponent.
Feeds in to get it back. Brown hitting it hard. Now Bradshaw's deep with Hooper, ready to go with him. And here comes Bradshaw, 1-on-1. He got clear. Good spoil from Jamieson. And they're away now. Up and under kick out to the win from Carazzo. Helping. Waiting for Murphy to get clear.
Couple back in front of Fev, so they stall.
Yep, confronted by 3 or 4 Brisbane players, and hence, as you mentioned, Wolsey, this is what Carlton are doing, waiting and coming in from a different angle, perhaps. Waiting until they got some further reinforcement, the Blues, and that's well worked with Simpson. We'd expect him to probably mark, but Brown's going to give the delivery to Fev, and they get there eventually. Well worked.
Yeah, you'd have to say they did it well. They'd gone from one wing to the opposite wing and then set Fev up on the lead. Brisbane dropping numbers back in front of Favola, and Carlton thought their way through that situation really well. Now we'll have a look at the grip. Big fella's kicked 5-3.
He's been a forward target this year, an incredible 135 times for Carlton coming into this game, or an average of 13.5 per game. The nearest Cameron Cloak 30, so he is a massive focus for them. 148 now after tonight. 5 goals, 3. The Blues need a steadying influence, and the shootout at the Gabba is taking shape, and Fev's smiling.
Well, Fev's pretty happy, and so he should be, and his teammates really helped him out. It goes from one wing, Armfield, across to Simpson. He doesn't take the mark. Cruiser helps out, and Brown's the one who puts it to Fev, who leads into the opposite forward pocket, and Brisbane just haven't got time to get numbers in front of him.
Before tonight, in his last 5 matches at the Gabba, Brendan Favola had contributed 9 goals, 9-16 to be precise.
And the inside 50 targets for the game thus far, and you can see why Brisbane are getting extra numbers in front of him.
And the way he's going at the moment, he could be looking at double figures with 6-3 next to his name as the Blues once again go inside 50. McGrath does the spoiling.
Gee, he's hit the ball long and strong tonight, and you can see Michael Voss with a bit of frustration there. Such an important game to both teams. Brisbane win, they go to the halfway break, 7 wins and 4 losses, and as you said, quarters just about can guarantee a finals berth.
A lot of work to do. McGrath, oh, the bare facts. As Betts has a ping towards the goals and kicks a point.
A few cracks appearing in their defence tonight, quarters.
Very cheeky. Tackle from Eddie Betts.
Donald brings it into Harding. Blues largely man on man ahead here, rather than the zoning. Armfield, Stevens trying to bring Gibbs back into it. Fev was a short option. He decided to go along to Garlett. That's going to be awfully difficult. Extra muscle around from the Lions. Notting and Harding. They're not out of trouble yet. Oh, Notting running the gauntlet. McDonald. Notting. Oh, Garlett, that's his specialty. And his forte shown again there. Well done, little Garlett's had a quiet night, but it'll all be worth it if he nails it here.
And look at the Carlton players go to Garlett and congratulate him for the effort. And he wrapped the arms up. He wrapped the arms up. That's the perfect tackle. Notting couldn't get an effective handball away. Umpire had to pay the free kick.
So they're making another move here with Daniel Bradshaw. Chris Johnson, the runner. Doesn't look like it at this stage. Let's watch the kick from Garlett. Seems elementary, is elementary, and the Blues are back to 29 in front.